wear sponsors on their shirts so we can really see where their money is coming from. Because I tell you something, there is not one politician in that house that is playing this with a straight bat as we are having our liberties stripped from us. It is a disgrace. We voted these people in to protect our democracy, to protect the citizens in this country, and instead we're having our rights stripped away. So let's see where we stand here today now. And people talk about this massive spike we had in April. How many people out there have lost a loved one who was really, really elderly, that was on palliative care for quite a while? And what you'll find is when relatives go round the bed of somebody who's ill, they rally, don't they? That's what happens. How many times I had an elderly relative who passed away, and I get the phone call, she's not going to make it through the night, and everybody would turn up, and never guess what? 10 minutes later she'd be asking for a cup of tea, because she'd rally. And what have we done back in April? We have closed the doors to our nursing homes and our care homes. We have closed the doors to visitors from people who are on palliative care, who are really, really elderly and really, really ill. People who are terminally ill, we stopped them seeing their relatives, and they just gave up. And this country stabbed those people in the back. Because what we did is we started talking about excess deaths. Nobody's talking about excess deaths now. Do you know why? Because there ain't any. And the reason being is all the people that were going to die for the next 6 months, they all died in April. And this is the rationale. And this is what is being used to shut this society down, to bring in whatever they want to bring in. I'm not particularly bothered about that. I'm looking at the statistics and it doesn't make sense. Remember the days before satellite navigation? When you go in your car, some of you that are perhaps in your 40s and 50s will remember it better, when your car didn't have a sat-nav. And you used to know where you were going. Can you remember? Or you'd buy a map book or a street map. Most people have forgotten how to read a map nowadays. Most of our young generation never learned because they didn't have to. This is what we've got with the press now. This is what we've got. People are losing their critical faculties to be able to switch the BBC off and Sky News off and actually sit and do a little bit of research for their own. Sick to death of people, sick to death of people who have a brain, who are spending time looking at what the statistics say, looking at what's really going on, hours and hours and hours and hours. And then you got some absolute moron who'll turn around and accuse you of wearing a tinfoil hat when all they've looked at is the BBC. It's a disgrace. Wake up! Use the brain that God gave you! Look at the figures for yourself and work out whether you should wear a mask or not. Because when you look and you realise that mask is doing you no good, that mask is lowering your immunity. And when our kids get this flu vaccine and they all come home to their grandparents, that flu is going to hit them like a steam train. You watch the figures go up then. And it will not be this rally that's caused it. It will not be the gathering of people to protest for your rights. It will be your lack of common sense in realising that you are wearing a mask for no reason other than a Simon Says game. I'm actively playing Simon Says, or reverse Simon Says, with Tony Blair. I've been playing that for quite some time now. If Tony Blair tells everybody to do something, I don't do it. Because it'll be bad for society. So wake up, Nottingham! Wake up, Nottingham!
Wake up, Nottingham! Wake up, Nottingham! Wake up, Nottingham! Wake up, Nottingham! Wake up!
Now we're being told about RNA vaccines from a company called Moderna. That it's going to get brought out in this country. It's an RNA vaccine that will amend the human DNA in your body. And if you've got children that have this vaccine and they have children, they will pass it on to the next generation. And we've got megalomaniacs telling us that 7 billion people are to have a vaccine that is going to amend our bodies in a way where we're going to pass that amendment on to the next generation. Can you not even begin to fathom what a bad idea that might be? We take a regular vaccine and there is 18 months or 2 years or 3 years, in some case 4 years worth of testing before we have a situation where that vaccine comes out and we've tested the efficacy of it and we're seeing it's safe. And what we're doing now is we are rushing a vaccine through where the effects of it are going to be passed on to our children and our children's children. How bright an idea does that look? And these people walking around with your masks on, who are buckling under and waiting for this vaccine coming out because you haven't got the time to actually do the research and work out what this is going to do to your body, because you just haven't got the time. Wake up and smell the coffee, because this is not, the world that you're seeing is not what you think it is.